replays on.
So
throwing any more TMI out there.
all the TMI to TMI.
What are we drinking today?
Now we're on the family friendly.
Plum Deluxe.
We went from rated R to PG-13. Watch at your own risk.
Watch at your own risk, for sure.
I guess I'm going to pull out my blanket to shoot.
Your blankie?
My blankie.
Your blankie. Oh my god. What's happening over here? Are you doing the fingering weight version?
I am doing the fingering weight version.
How have you done so much?
Fingering weight version.
Because Hi, and welcome to another edition of River City Knits. Because we're just going to start talking about our projects and not even say hello.
We're just all chatting away.
We're just chatting. So, I have an addiction called Midsummer Murders.
What is Midsummer Murders?
It's on Netflix. It's this old BBC.
We've talked about this before,
we
haven't
have.
we? Oh, no.
Yeah, it's been on since like 1997. There's like a million seasons. I'm on season 7.
Have we talked on the podcast?
I don't know if we have.
No, I think it was
Just like us, right?
Yeah.
So I watch an episode a night, and it's kind of like Sherlock, so it's like an hour and 45-minute program.
But does it have Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, there's no Benedict Cumberbatch, but there's British accents.
Then I'm out.
And like beautiful countryside with lots of gruesome murders. So there's usually like on average 3 murders per
lots
episode.
of tea.
3 murders per episode?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It seems like a pretty high bar till it's
And
set.
like pitchforked deaths, candlestick murders.
It's like a real life Clue.
Kinda. And then like the detective chief inspector is like, you're under arrest.
Oh, that's why I remember this, because you
Would
were
you
all
like some
gaga
tea?
over the...
Like, it's so British. You're like, he doesn't carry a gun.
You're under arrest. Would you like a spot of tea?
Would you like a spot of tea? Yeah. So,
Do they say that? That's
so
rude.
I like work on my Northeasterly when I watch Midsummer Murders.
Nice. That's
So-
impressive, though.
Nice.
So I'm almost to the top of the 4th. I honestly have not worked on it this week. I've had a lot of stuff going on. But once I reach close to the top here for these 2 columns, I'm going to attach all 4 of them and keep going to my desired height. I sound like a knitting pattern.
Then,
Desired height.
Then you're going to start adding
And then I'm
rows.
going to start adding columns.
How do you...
Bind off?
Is this your desired height?
Nope.
So how do you go across?
So there's some tips that they give.
Oh, yeah.
You
Always-
want to keep at least like maybe a few rows, so 2, 3, 4. I think I have my stuff 4 rows less than. So here, this is like 4 little rows less than. So you're not making doing that last
So they're
stitch.
always done separately.
Yes, but they're just on the needle, but they're just different
Mm-hmm.
heights.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
This
So-
is mine. It's tiny.
Yours is looking nice.
Teeny tiny.
Do you have 2 columns?
I have 2 columns.
And you're doing fingering weight, too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm
And
doing
she's using DPNs.
DK.
So I think the DK looks really nice and cozy.
Yeah.
See, and I doubled up here. This is a fingering weight yarn, and this is a fingering weight yarn.
So you just held
So
them
I
together.
doubled up on them. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Which is cool. Because I sat down and did this for like a day and had about and then I went, oh no, that's bullshit.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm like, no,
Like,
this
that's
isn't
not
going to
gonna-
be a blanket.
that's
This is
not gonna-
a scarf or something.
This is like
Shawl.
an anxiety project is really like, it's just like meditative. It's not anxiety, it's meditative. It just helps kind of like calm me.
Are you doing the awesome like weave in endings as you go along?
Yeah.
I'm like so stoked about that.
Weaving in.
I'm not doing her special weave in the
How do
ends.
you
I'm
weave
just
in the
doing
ends?
weave in the ends like
I haven't looked ahead. I don't look
You
ahead.
she has a
know,
special way of doing it.
It's basically just like you would do color work. You carry behind and you pick up, like if you were going to carry floats. You know, if you carry a float in standard
Yeah.
knitting, you pick it up and go behind. So you're just like wrapping it and then skipping it and then wrapping it and skipping it.
Oh, while you're knitting?
Yeah.
Oh.
So like
So
that.
all I do is just
So
like
it's basically like catching
You're
a
just
float.
not.
Right.
so I just I go front back with each stitch until I get to. So that's how I'm doing it, just as I knit, because it's not like it's going to be super blocked. But I've kept all my ends. I think we're supposed to because we have to do something because I have to weave this stuff in.
You have to like make this a point.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that part from her video.
Yes.
These two
Shenanigans.
turn into a little point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that's why I keep holding on to this.
I'm assuming that you just kind of like whip stitch them together.
Oh, I wove these in. Oh no, here it is.
It's right there. So these are 2 Leon Alexander. I'd gotten sample ones from that September retreat that I went to. But then during Yarn Crawl, I purchased a fun bag of 5 grams.
You bought
from
one of those?
I don't know how many
That
there are,
would've
like
been
20 of the
perfect.
5 grams. And they're all
20
pretty
or
rad,
25.
or 25. I don't know. I can't add. I'm not going to pretend. It's just a bag. A
bag
beautiful Leon Alexander.
A bag of goodies.
So I'm going to probably, like in one of these future columns, just be like all Leon Alexander. So, and this beautiful tonal was from Betty.
Aww.
Betty DeLargy. She
Shout out.
She has a huge one so far. It's like amazing. It's amazing.
hers is hers is big. So she wants to do hers 30 columns across and I measured it and they are exactly 3 inches. So I am on gauge for once in my life, but it's a blanket.
So making a bedspread.
Yeah.
I think like a queen size. I think. Is
Yeah.
what
So
it
she was gonna go 30 columns.
It's like, but she's already done so much.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'll probably, I don't know if I'll do 30. I want a nice blanket that I can kind of like cuddle, a little cover. So
Katie
we'll
was
see.
like, how
Yeah.
how well will a fingering weight blanket wear?
Should wear okay.
I mean, mine are mostly like socky because they've got a nylon blend in them. So I mean, they're not moving in and out of shoes.
I would not throw in a whole bunch of singles. I will say that.
I don't
wouldn't throw in
have
a whole
any
bunch of
singles.
Single plies?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
and
think
if
I
you
have
do, I'd throw them in between, in small sections in between, because I don't think single plies are gonna wear.
These are all
quite
because
as
like
well.
this is opal, so it's all super sturdy.
Right.
The opal yarns.
You're
and-
right. So yeah, I mean sock yarn. It's all
I mean,
sock yarn.
I just think about my socks and they're like in my shoes,
yeah,
all nice and warm. 'Cause
yeah,
of my
Katie,
feet.
it'll wear fine.
It'll wear fine.
Don't you worry.
It'll be good.
But if you make one and it doesn't wear well, we didn't say that.
It was a journey.
We'll deny it.
It's not about where you go or how you get there. It's the journey. I messed that one up, didn't I?
It's all good. One of my little
I'm the
balls
Tim
was on the
Taylor
floor.
of sayings.
She say your balls are on the floor.
Dude, you what?
She said her balls are on the
The
floor.
balls fell. My balls are on the floor. My coworker Kyle got me a mug for Christmas and it has balls of yarn. It says, "Don't mess with my balls."
Sweet Jesus.
So I have it like on my cabinet with my other cups. It's like in the front so everyone can see.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh, this is
Do you
awesome.
need help picking up your balls?
I will just. I have the sock here
Okay.
to work on, so I'm good.
You
Yeah.
just have loose. Well, you can knit off the balls off the.
Oh my god.
How they hanging?
How they hanging?
Oh my god.
So I'm drinking some tea from Plum Deluxe. What is it?
Cozy blanket black tea.
And it really is cozy.
Can you focus? Focus.
Focus.
Is it yummy?
It is. Enid was just talking. She's like, I want to be a tea person.
I want to be a tea person. I'm just seems like a lot of work.
To be a tea person?
Yeah.
How's
I'm
a lot
all
of
aboard the
work?
coffee train.
You gotta put it in a little filter, steep it, boil some water.
How do you make coffee? Put in the filter,
I know, but
boil some water.
But then that's it.
It drips through. You're right. You're not like counting the minutes and like.
Right.
Once it's drip done, it's done. I can drink it.
I can see that.
And then I have to dunk. Then I have to dunk a tea bag. Toss it. Don't squeeze the tea bag.
No, you don't want to squeeze.
Oh,
the
I
tea
totally
bag.
squeeze the tea bag.
So
It seems wrong not to. Like there's all
You're
that
like, there's
tea
like
still in there.
there's still like half an ounce of water.
Yes.
I need to
It
use
feels
it.
wrong.
So
Hey
you're
guys,
like-
I finished something.
yay!
Y'all have seen this, but you guys have not seen this.
It's so beautiful.
Looks
So
so
I
cozy.
finished my weekender.
It's a gorgeous color.
It's a stash knit. It's some Cascade 220 of. They don't name their colorways; they just give them
Numbers.
random numbers. But I finished it. I started it back over the summer, and it's literally sat from July with about that much left needing to be knit. So I finally got off my ass off a sleeve island, and finished it.
It looks great.
Thanks. I'm not totally happy with it. I like it.
It's cozy.
It looks very comfy, but I know
comfy.
you're like,
It's a size too big, I think.
yeah.
And I don't know if it's a size too big or if I used needles that are too big for this yarn. Because, like, they call it a worsted, but
Your stitches are so beautiful, though. Look at these stitches.
they,
so beautiful.
I don't know. It feels more like a DK in the hand, like a light worsted, not a heavy worsted. So I don't know if that made any difference, but there's something funky going on with the neckline. My boat neckline is got too much boat to it. So, but I think I'm gonna try to stitch it close
a little bit.
Because you can like see my bra and
One of the Austin
that makes me
ladies
a little like
was talking about that. Her like collar, like this part of
like
like
a little too
was, and I don't think it was her weekender. It was another sweater, and I want to say she was gonna crochet something in there.
What's this? Is that a 3 needle bind off?
Yeah, it's an exposed 3 needle bind off. So I mean, I could
So
pick
that
it
gives
up
it
here.
structure, but that's still kind of too.
Yeah, because that ends,
It's
and then
almost
you
like you
just
wanna,
bind
like-
off the neckline. But see, I just want to like get like
I see where you want to pick it up.
like right here, because I don't know what happened here. Like it gaped.
Could you make
Between
it?
this
Could you?
bind
You know
off.
how like in the sock where it has like the little gap in there, and you
Mhm.
kind of just with the thing of yarn just kind of
I think that's
seam
what I'm gonna
it.
do. Just
Could you
seam it
kind of do
closed.
that?
I think so.
Because I can see where it looks like a gap.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's weird.
It's beautiful.
My sleeves are too long. I don't know if I have short arms, but
No, that happened to me with
my sleeves are
the
too
chick
long.
my
Chick pulley.
my chick pulley.
But I don't have broad shoulders, so my problem with this, and I typically find myself bust-wise in an extra large, but I don't have what I feel is broad shoulders for this size. So, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have problems with this too, because I already kind of feel.
What you making?
What is this one?
This.
Yeah.
This one is another Andrea Mowry pattern. This is a Comfort Fade cardi. I'm on the wrong side right now because it's knit in reverse stockinette. So,
I've just been learning about that, and it kind of blows my mind.
but I want to show y'all something, okay? I did not realize why so many of the fade patterns are in garter or reverse stockinette, where you're looking at the purl side, right? So you can see it's a fade, right? And if you look at the color changes look more like stripes on the stockinette side, right? But if you flip it over, and this is actually the right side,
It does.
look how they blend.
Yeah, it blends better.
They blend so much better. So I'm curious if this is why so many of those fade patterns are in
Garter.
a garter or a reverse stockinette stitch, because it blends the yarns so much better than this, because it just looks like stripes.
So when I see the
On this
fade,
side.
I've not done any fade work, project-y things. All I see are almost like self-striping. I just see striping. I don't see
Right.
it as a fade. That's just how my eyes have kind of. I don't know if that's why I haven't really been like, oh, I want to try it.
Right.
So I'm like, I'll just get mustache or nomadic yarns.
Right.
to,
And
like,
this is
do
the
a stripe.
first time I've done it. So, and I'm using 3 solids and a variegated.
But I can see it now, like here with your project, kind of the difference.
Yeah. So this is the neckline, and I'm working on the hem, and I'm on a really tiny needle, so it's not hanging properly. But this is the back,
So pretty.
and then this is the
These are
front.
great colors.
Thanks.
They're a lot of fun.
So, but this is like 3 weeks,
Wow,
right?
that's awesome.
What?
I cast on this 3 weeks ago, and I'm already on the hem here.
Did you say this is DK?
This is DK.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know about fingering weight sweater shell.
I don't know if I could do a finger weight sweater. That'd be like.
That seems like, I don't know. I might have commitment
But
issues.
you made a starting point. That's a lot of knitting.
That's a lot of knitting. Took me a year and a half.
You can make a fingering sweater. I would never do it because
Yeah, I
But
think this
you
is
can.
a nice weight, because like you see some that are too bulky and it just looks bulky.
Right.
yeah.
I don't know how I got all like
just come bother
It was
me.
not through the interior, and now it's through the interior. Like, what happened here? Well, what had happened was...
What happened? So our friend Marissa has been in like the coldest place in the world. Well,
Des Moines.
to us cold.
So,
For work.
if anybody is watching this that lives up north that had like sub-zero temperatures, like in the negative 20s or 30s, please email me or hit me. I have a ton of questions, you guys.
Like
I
how?
really have a lot of questions.
I don't know how
What are
Marissa
your
and Caleb were
questions?
able to do that.
Well, because, like, okay, so we live in the South, and getting your house warm is not too much. But, like, you're in the summer when it's, like, friggin', 110. Your air conditioner works to cool you off. Probably about 30, 35 degrees is about the max that an AC will keep. So, if you're up north and it's negative 30, let's say the same principle applies to heating. Can you get your house to, like, 0? Like, is that, like, how cold
the
is it in
answer?
your house?
Fireplaces.
Fireplaces, and my aunt Julia lives in Chicago, and she's like, I just laid in bed and covered myself up.
That sounds
And
fantastic.
the room she's in, she's got a little apartment, and she turned on the oven, like, yeah, she just opened.
That's dangerous.
Well, I know, but it's not gas oven; it's like electric, so it just like heated it up, and then she'd turn it off, just to warm up where she
See,
is.
these are the kind of questions I have.
You
Like,
bake
how do you guys
cookies.
do this?
Right, you bake. Okay. So, like, my sister lives in a house in Capitol Hill that's, like, over 100 years old.
Yes,
Easy.
like,
over 100 years old.
How,
Their
did
heater
they
does
freeze
not-
to death?
Their heater does not work.
It's not a gas oven. That would be scary.
I know. That's why I'm
She's like,
Okay, but your grandmothers totally did that shit.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We
totally.
did. My
You'd
grandma's
come
house,
into a cold house and the freaking gas stove would be going.
the calentador,
Yes.
everybody's hovering next to the electric
The
heater.
freaking burners would be going.
No, there were gas. Cause my grandma had a gas heater, the calentador.
well, yeah, but not in
And you
these
turn it
apartments. At these
on,
little.
you do the little...
She lives in a retirement home, so they're not going to be giving
Oh.
these people gas
We're not
ovens.
going to give them gas ovens.
No, they're like little toaster ovens or whatever that they got. But.
So my sister, like, their house is old and the heater doesn't work, but they turn on that fireplace.
Oh yeah, your sister lives in DC. Did they?
But,
get-
like, your bathrooms? Like, because I saw the
Ooh.
pictures of, like, the toilet tanks that were frozen
Yep.
and, like, cracked around it. Like, is that a real thing, or is that some shit somebody made up on Facebook?
And they just
I need to know the answers, you guys. I'm fascinated by this. Like, they start talking about you can go outside for 5 minutes before you could get frostbite.
well, they were
I'd
showing. Did
get
you see them
interested.
with people with hot coffee throwing them out? Like that was
Yes.
crazy.
That's crazy.
You guys, all we know are what the Facebooks show us,
the Instagrams and the Facebooks.
so we need to know the truth.
We're
I
all
just
little
wanna know
ladies
the
of
truth.
Facebooks.
Yes.
The Facebooks.
So if you were in that situation, hit me up. I have a lot of questions. I just have questions that I need answers to. I want to know. I don't know why.
I know
It's
when
just
I
like
was
that.
little, my mom one time, and Elisa knows this one, but she had a church thing, like an event. She was in charge of making Jell-O, like lots of it, and she wanted to make like layered Jell-O. So she'd make one layer, put it outside on the snow, and it would set like that, and then she'd bring it in and do another layer and set easy. Yeah.
I saw the dude with the eggs. He like took bread outside and it froze like immediately. And then he like stacked it and then cracked the egg to where the egg would run out. And then it like froze like as soon as it hit
The bread?
and like within minutes. No, the egg.
Oh, the egg
Like
froze.
the egg froze.
Before it hit the bread, or just...
Well, that was just like a thing. So then when the egg froze, he took the bread away and it's just standing. Like the yolk is coming off the
crazy, yeah.
concrete and the egg is just
It's
like
like a
suspended.
cartoon.
Crazy.
Right.
That's cold, you
He
guys.
put an egg like on a cast iron skillet outside, and it looks like the egg is cooking, like it's bubbling off of it, and it's just freezing, but it looks like it's cooking.
That's the same as like the meteorologists or the weathermen putting like frying an egg on the sidewalk in the summertime here.
I like frozen bubbles. Those are pretty.
Frozen. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I've seen frozen bubbles.
People blow bubbles and the little bubbles freeze in the air.
But if you can take hot water and go outside and make snow, it's cold.
It's cold.
We're cold. It got down to 39 last night.
Wah.
Seriously. We are calling the ambulance on ourselves here. It sleeted all day yesterday, guys. I was working outside in the sleet.
That was crazy.
I have never, walked from building to building in the sleet before.
Was that sleet or was it hail?
No, it was sleet.
No, sleet.
It was a little bitty.
It was a little bouncy.
Because I was going to my car to get something. I'm like, what is this? What is this stuff going on?
Y'all live close. Y'all work close to each other.
Yeah,
So I had a customer that came in and she's like, I just came from the medical center.
Oh yeah,
and this is where I work, and she
me
works.
Too.
And it was sleeting over there. Somebody said snow, and she goes, no, it was bouncy, so it was sleet. And I'm like, oh wow. She goes, you'll probably be getting it. Sure enough, in about an hour later, I hear a shh. I'm like, what is that sound? And I look out the window. It doesn't look like rain. I don't see anything, and so I walk out, and a little bouncy sleet everywhere. That's crazy.
Little bitty frozen raindrops.
Who knows where it went? I think it just traveled across
Probably
the
just
city.
traveled until it got too warm. Or not.
That's bananas though.
Well, I don't
All the
have
while going, we're from South Texas.
I don't have much to
freeze
show
to death.
except this. That sweater is. I'm not talking about it.
Which sweater is this?
My colorwork sweater.
The one with Salvador's.
The Christmas color.
Yeah, I was so
what is it,
excited.
Up and Away? No.
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away.
I was kind of excited about thinking I could finish it, but a lot's been going on. I've been kind of busy, so I just put it to sleep. Maybe next week I'll pick it up and finish it. I gotta finish it.
Because you got a boy who's growing.
Yeah. If anything, finish it so we can take a picture and move on. But I had a weird dream last night. You want to hear about it?
Yes.
So weird. So I had this friend. We parted ways. But she showed up in my dream. And she showed up in my dream totally aged about 40 years. We're the same age, but she looked like she aged. Whatever happened to her in her life, she aged 40 years and shrunk 2 feet. So she was short, and we hugged, and I had to bend over to hug her, and I'm like, I can't recognize you. She's not a knitter, she's not a dyer, she's nothing in real life. She does not touch yarn in real life, but in this dream, she's dyeing yarn. And she's got this technique, and she's this is what I'm doing, and I showed Enid everything she knows. I'm like, what is she talking about? But this technique is printed on blanks, so... You heard it here first. We make mommy do this.
Here's your
Wait, let me
She's
get
doing a trademark and copyright notice in this
She took these blanks
episode
and printed on the blanks photos, and I'm like, this is so cool, but how does it knit up? And she's like, don't you worry how it knits up. She wouldn't answer the question, and I'm like, I need to know.
See?
How does this knit up? It just knits up the way I said. No, it doesn't. Technically, it knits up differently when it's in a blank than when it's in a sock. So how does it work? Do you have any samples? She's like, you don't need to see samples. You just need to buy my yarn. Such a weird dream. And then I don't know.
You don't need to see samples.
Just buy it, darling.
Just buy it. It's awesome. You know it. So it was this person, but it totally didn't act like that person. The real life person. Just weird.
That is weird.
You know, you put labels on somebody in a dream, but it's really not them.
I wish I could remember my dreams.
I sleep too hard for all
My
that.
dreams,
Yeah.
my dreams are like David Lynch movies.
My sister's super vivid
For
in her
real.
dreams. And she remembers them.
Like some vanilla sky going on over there.
Crazy stuff. Yeah. What is going on with this music? All of a sudden.
We don't know if you guys can hear this,
It's on really low. It's just so it's not super
but it's
silent.
like walking into church and just the organ player is playing
But
before church.
but it's hypnotic.
It's very gothic.
We just are like,
Seriously. And
you go
repetitive.
into church going mode. We just
I
stop
know.
talking.
Like we're shuffling into church.
I know.
Half asleep.
So now I want to dye this yarn.
So you gonna do picture yarn?
I want to knit it. But you're never going to get a blank like that. I mean, it was a perfectly knitted, flat blank. Blanks are never.
Oh god, no, they're a hot mess.
They're curly and.
Such a hot mess.
But she got it printed on there.
In your dream.
In my dream. Now I want to knit it. So can I get back to my dream and knit some?
I don't know.
Have you ever had knitting dreams? Have you ever had a knitted dream?
A
Where you're
knitted
knitting?
dream?
Like you're knitting in your dream? Or you want to knit something in your dream?
I have not.
That was an anxiety knitting dream.
I had a work event
Weird.
this morning. And usually there's like 20 minutes kind of like where I'm just like away from the presentation or whatever. And I realized I left my knitting at home.
She texted me. Oh, my knitting.
I did the 3 emojis, the one with the big eyes, and
You
then the one
don't
with
keep
the...
one in your car?
Well, no, because I'm going to a friend's house tonight, and I'd already kind of like packed my stuff, so that was there at the house. Like, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to take, so I took all of that out, so it was all together. Usually there's at least one project in the car, but I was trying to prepare for this evening ahead of time.
Sorry.
So,
yeah.
so
Are you leaving from here?
I'm leaving from here.
Wow.
So, so I played on Ravelry. It was okay.
It was okay?
Yeah. I mean, it was like 20 minutes. So,
Are y'all doing the Fibrary challenge?
I am doing the Fibrary challenge. My sister thought it was Fibrary challenge.
So you
She's like, how are you going to do 28 days of lies?
That's a whole new spin on it.
fib.
Fibber.
I didn't answer the knit, so I got to go do that one, and I didn't answer this next one, which is
I made it to day 2, y'all. It's the 9th.
9.
I made it to day 2.
well. And I run both my I run 3 different Instagram accounts. This
That is
one,
true.
mine, the Yarn Barn, and Barn Owl Yarns. And you can only do one well.
So,
Yarn Barn has its own LYS, get to know your LYS, and I
That's
think
right.
I made it to day 2.
See?
maybe pick
I
it up in
only
March.
made it to day 2 because Logan sent me a message and was like, I'm holding you accountable. Not that accountable, but was like, you need to answer day 2. And he only lasted until day 2 with his encouragement. So,
And I've been holding him. I'm like, hello, you gonna answer the next one? I did mine.
so
I didn't know we were holding each other accountable. Lisa was the one because
I didn't either.
For the past several years I've done it, and I always before the 14th I'm done. And Lisa, use your yarns. Like, I'll make sure I'll help encourage you. So I didn't know that we were all encouraging each other. This is
I didn't
kinda cool.
either. I got that message from him and I was
So
like,
I'm
okay, let me do day 2. But there was
super
no
nerd.
thing for day 3 through 9.
I already have my photos prepped for tomorrow. So
Girl.
pumped. Coffee or tea?
I downloaded one of those Latergram things, so maybe I'll just go through and like do them all and just schedule them to post.
Oh,
Which
that's a
one are
good
you
idea.
using? Planally, Planoly. What do you use?
It's called Later.
Later?
Later.
Ooh.
I don't know. I just downloaded. I
Does
didn't know
it-
those things existed.
I didn't know
Does
that
it-
existed
yeah.
until you just now said
There's
that.
lots of them. But do they...
I know Hootsuite, but that's from like the 90s. Not really, but it feels like
From
it.
the 90s.
It's not, but it just feels like the way technology is. It's from the 90s.
Does later...
You have to say it later.
Does it...
Later, Gator.
Later.
Does later.
Does later... Okay, wait. Take 2. Does later...
And take 3. Yes.
Does it post?
Yes. As far as I know. Or maybe it will remind you, like, hey, you have this one and it's time to post it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. But it won't post for you. It won't auto post.
I don't think it auto posts.
Man, that
But
would
you
be
can schedule
sweet.
them and write them out and do everything and then basically go post.
Ooh,
That's
I like
kind of
that.
smart.
I like
I
that.
think I have not used it yet. Because I'm bad at social media.
So too much, and then there's all this other stuff going on. I can't right now. I can't with my own personal stuff going on. I just can't. I can't handle. I'm sorry. I'm checking out.
I'm checking.
I'm gonna just do the bare minimums. Unfortunately, that's just
So.
how it has to be for now.
And it's like getting to be show prep time. Well, it is show prep time. So that
Show
like
prep
kills my like social media because I just don't have time for it. You know, by the time I think about it, I'm laying in bed and like the last thing I'm gonna do is write an Instagram post.
Yeah, and I mean, we should be doing an Instagram for this this site, this podcast.
Have our own.
Do we need to?
Instagram.
Are we supposed to?
It's a good idea.
Are we supposed to?
I don't know the rules.
It's a good idea, but geez Louise.
It's one more. It's one more thing. It's like
one more thing.
it's one more thing. I don't know.
I feel like it's all consuming of your like normal life, of your regular day-to-day life.
It can get that way.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
And then I get stuck in a loop. Check the Facebook, check the Instagram. Oh wait, I was going to say something. Oh, what was that thing? Was it on Instagram or was it on Facebook?
Right. It's a lot. Or was that an email? Or a DM?
Maybe it was Pinterest.
Or instant messenger? Or, like, I don't know where that person messaged me that thing that I need to respond to.
Like,
I hate when I'm like, oh, let me go look up. I think Amanda posted something about blah, blah, blah. So you open up. And then you get distracted by, like, all these other things. And then it's, like, 20 minutes later. And you close. No more. I'm closing this. And then you're like, I was supposed to look up Amanda's thing.
And then you're like,
yeah.
I never answered that question, or I never...
Yeah, I looked up that information or whatever.
right.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm glad I'm not alone.
And half the time my kid has my phone now anyway, so I don't even have that form of communication.
So Kat's daughter, Ellie, had her phone, and I had tagged Kat on something. And Ellie's like, we're like at the table by each other, and she's like, Elisa, I'm right here. You can just tell me, because it said like meows and growls, like you were mentioned in E. Gonzalez. And I was like, it wasn't for you, Ellie. Get off your mom's phone.
Oh yeah. Enid's texting you. What did she say, Mom? What did she say? Oh, wait, hang on. Let me read it to you. Get out of my damn messages.
So I had to remember not to put all cussy words with my friends with kids.
Yeah.
But now her friends are texting my phone to send her pictures. So, like, her birthday recently passed. So I probably got 6 happy birthdays before 7 a.m. I'm at work at 7. And my phone is blowing up with her friends texting her happy birthday on my phone.
Aren't they at school with her?
Well, it'd be another 30 to 40 minutes. You just can't wait
they're
until
not
we
school
get to
yet.
school.
Yeah. They're not at school yet.
But
That's
I'm like,
so sweet.
seriously? I mean, it's sweet, but I'm like, so then when we get home, everybody said they texted me. Let me look at my text message. Did they tell me
Look
happy
at my
birthday?
text messages.
This is not community property, child.
That's hilarious.
This is mine.
Now we know we can text Molly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Molly. Dude, who busted Molly? When we were...
Which time?
It was you, wasn't it?
I think so.
I think you've done it several times.
She replied in a group text, and we were like, okay, Molly, where's your mom?
You did it one time.
I did?
Yeah, because there...
Or was it
was
Kat?
like a bunch of emojis that happened.
So
So
it's the
we're like...
overuse of emojis that gives it away.
Somebody busted.
I was texting my sister,
How
and
did
all of a
y'all-
sudden there's
Oh,
like 5...
Kat did it one time too.
Yeah, Kat caught her on it.
See, this has been going on quite a while.
I was texting my sister, and then all of a sudden I get a text, and it was literally 4 rows of emojis. And the amount of unicorns on there was a total indication that it was my niece that sent that emoji-filled text.
I've decided that I think she's trying to drive me insane so that I will voluntarily get her own phone. Because let me tell you guys, the number of 10-year-olds out there that have cell phones is staggering.
Yes.
It is staggering.
It's crazy.
So, and the friends that are texting my phone messages have their own phones. And I'm like, are you serious?
My kid's 12. He still does not have a phone.
She's trying to drive me crazy so that I'll just be like, fine, I'll get you your own phone.
I may have you
She has no idea just how stubborn I can be.
We have
We
stamina.
can play this game.
Mothers have stamina. And make chess.
What age are you thinking that she would get a phone?
I don't know. When I see a need, I guess. Like, it's not a need thing. And I think some of her friends that have phones have them. I think some of them come from divorced families. And so they have that phone to,
Communicate with the other
with the other parent without having to go through,
Right.
Like the mom or the dad or whatever. They themselves can call the parent whenever they feel like it,
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I guess
That's
I see
definitely, yeah.
because nobody has landlines anymore.
Right.
You know, is the other issue. I have a landline. She can call her friends on the landline. But
So we won't do phones until it's necessary, like after school programs. When he's in sports next year, he might get a phone.
Right.
But for now, you can use the office phone at school or the teacher's phone in her classroom.
Right.
Because otherwise, you're with me. But sometimes he goes to his friend's house and the friends text. He lets the friends let him text me. But
right.
so I feel a little bad there. I just don't think it's necessary right now.
So, if your kids, 10-year-olds, have cell phones, I'm not judging you.
No, I think it's definitely by need and like every situation.
But everybody's. I have friends that have 10-year-olds that go to like all-day ballet intensives on the weekends, you know, and they probably need some form of communication as when to come pick me up and.
Yeah, well, and he's swimming too, so we should have already got him a phone. But how about it's like really expensive?
How about like that phone ends up in the pool because he's at a swim meet?
No, it's in his bag. He doesn't swim with the phone.
It's in all their lockers, I'm sure. But
kids throw their. It might get wet with like gear, but
I don't know. Look, I'm finding the parenting waters difficult to navigate.
Sometimes
like, there's all these gray areas, you know, and there's no, you know, like they ask you, well, when did you get a cell phone? Like I was in my 20s,
and I paid for it myself.
Like this was not a thing. I got my first smartphone when she was a year old.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I was in my 30s before I got a smartphone.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2010 that I got a smartphone.
Yeah. Like, it's relatively new. Wow, I totally derailed that. Like, whatever we were doing.
I'm
went off on a tangent.
I'm holding myself back to not bringing it back to Midsummer Murders, so.
Talk about Midsummer.
What do you want to talk
Have you guys watched The Masked Singer?
Are they knitting? No!
What is it?
What? Who's who? Anybody revealed?
Yes.
Who's revealed?
They
The
revealed Ricky Lake last week.
Who's Ricky Lake?
Ricky
talk
Lake?
show.
Yeah, the talk show girl.
Who was her costume?
She was the Raven. I don't know. I've watched it once.
What's the name
I
of the
watched
show?
it this
The
week.
Masked
The
Singer.
Masked Singer.
There's a lion. There's a peacock. People were saying it's Donny Osmond is the peacock. And then the little funky monster was Eminem, but I don't think it is. And there's the lion. I thought maybe Halle Berry, but then there's 3 choices. And Halle Berry's not in any one of those.
I don't either. Molly and I were watching it whatever night it came on last week. And I was like, it's kind of interesting.
What's the other monster or costume?
There's a, I don't know.
Peacock?
There's a
said
peacock.
It's a
Like
one-eyed monster.
A bee.
A one-eyed monster?
Yeah. So, I don't know. Good God.
We're shaking the table.
Are you shaking the table?
I was shaking the camera.
Shaking the camera.
I get Lisa.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
We were having this conversation offline before we started recording. And so we apparently are all about like the penis jokes today. I'm gonna say penis.
We'll stick to that.
So I don't know why.
The last podcast we were making one right.
Make one right. So you put the needle, make one right. Oops, no. Oh my God, I can't even do it now. Make one right. Let's see. You bring it in from the rear. Bring it in through the rear. I can't do it right now. I'm under pressure.
Are you having stage fright?
Yes. Performance anxiety. What is wrong with me?
Oh,
you guys.
Bring it in. Do it this way.
I'm just gonna knit.
She just got shy. Sinvergüenza.
Sinvergüenza, yeah. But then,
It's so
River
funny.
City Knits, where the 40-year-old women have the sense of humor as the 14-year-old boys.
Yeah.
That should be our new tagline. We put that on a t-shirt. Coming soon to the shop. Oh my
Masked
goodness.
Singer. That show. I tried watching it. I was getting off.
Does it drive you a little cray?
Because I don't know. Like, I haven't watched the full show. So how does have you watched the full thing?
Mm-mm.
Just a part of it?
Oh, biscuit.
Do we need to?
I dropped a stitch.
So I can you got it?
Son of a biscuit.
What are you doing?
She's using her needle to pick up the stitch.
It's not working very well.
I was looking for a crochet hook.
It's on now.
Problems knitters have.
Isn't it just stacking it? Or was it a something else?
Crochet saving knitters' asses since
For real?
1920 whatever.
Everybody. Nobody move! I lost the contact.
We're in a yarn shop and we can't find a crochet hook. There's
God.
like crochet hooks.
Yeah, but then I had to open a package.
Yeah, that's true. Where's my
Right?
And then it'd be used.
Reached over.
Aquí está.
Aquí está?
Aquí está. Aquí
Oh,
está.
aquí está. My
There's a
Spanish
pink one.
is terrible.
Smaller?
Do you need a smaller one, or is that? It just looks like.
Oh my
she's
god, I'm
smaller.
about to drop a needle.
Amanda's like, don't
Got
look
it.
at me.
Got it. Got it.
Don't look at me.
Give me the ojo.
Right.
What's
Which
this?
one of you did it?
What's this?
Forever
Forever friend.
This is from
Aw.
Lisa. She gave me a bicycle stitch marker.
What's this? Those are cute.
Those are
little-
from Yarnistry Shop.
Yarn.
They're from the UK. Emma.
What's this?
A snowflake.
Oh, here's the bicycle.
Yeah.
I want to ride my bicycle.
She had stopped at Stephen and Penelope when she was in Amsterdam. She got
What was that? The Beatles? That song?
Huh?
I want to ride my bicycle. Was that Queen?
Maybe Queen.
I would say it's Queen before I'd say it's the Beatles.
I agree.
Have you seen Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes, I saw it opening weekend.
Did you like it?
I did like
She
it.
saw it opening weekend.
It was
Well, she could have gone inside and I liked it.
That's true.
tasteful.
Sad.
I thought it's sad.
It broke my
It's-
heart.
It's cleaned up. You know, it's I think a lot prettier picture of his life than what was
The
the
reality.
reality, I'm sure.
He just seemed like a very lonely
Yeah.
guy. Surrounded by people, but still kind of like,
Yeah.
I think that seems to be the case for a lot of artists.
I think so. Because I think like the more people that I meet, we're extroverted introverts. We really have to force ourselves, and we're our extroverted selves. I think we're faking. Not that it's not us, but that's really
It's part of your
hard
persona.
to do. And I think we're on the whole introverts. Except for this one here. But
I feel like I'm an extroverted introvert
yes.
because I'm exhausted at the end of an event or like
Oh,
something.
yeah.
There's this level of exhaustion where I just need quiet. But I feel like I've gotten that as I've gotten older. For sure, when I was younger, I would feed off of like all of that energy.
Right, like that helps you go. But shows and stuff like that where I meet a lot of people and I'm going to interact and I'm going to talk a lot like that. Like afterwards, it's like I'm peopled out. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense. And I don't think in my younger days I ever would have said I could possibly be peopled out. But
Yeah. But then it's like there's this comfort though, like when it's like, okay, that was crazy or that was a lot of fun, but maybe I don't necessarily want to be by myself, but there's like a select few people where I'm like,
right.
yes, I can spend some time with you.
Yeah.
That because we can be quiet and still be hanging out or whatever, or
Mhm.
or be laughing and hanging out or whatever. That it doesn't feel like
Comfortable silences are
Yeah.
not an easy thing.
yeah, those are good friends. Those are like to be able to have that.
They're not an easy.
There's definitely a group. It's not always the same situation, but like when there's some interactions where you're a lot of people and you go home and you're just exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
But our stitch nights, I go home and I'm just like
you're kind of
still
like a
smiling.
little buzz. Yeah.
Like still smiling on my way home, which is nice.
Yeah.
Or if we have
Definitely
extra, like an extra, I don't know, event that we're all at.
It's there's a funness.
You
There's
leave
a
happy, yeah. You leave kind of like
satisfied.
good times.
Mm-hmm. And I miss that because I don't get out so much anymore. So
We did not record at the Cider Keeper, but that we had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all three of us were there. We had a nice group. So
Nice group.
I wanted to celebrate my birthday and the birthday of a couple of other girls in Central Texas. So Betty and Tania, we all had our birthdays within 2 days of each other. So invited a bunch of friends.
That was fun.
And it was
That was a lot of fun.
great weather. In fact, it was almost too sunny.
Yeah, for the first weekend of
People
the last weekend of January.
Yeah, it was the last weekend of January.
The cider was good. The heirloom popcorn was delicious.
It's very rich.
Heirloom popcorn.
Heirloom popcorn, not just regular popcorn.
The baguette and goat cheese was delicious too.
It was a lot of good food. They had a band.
I love
Yeah,
We were
the band was a lot
outside.
of fun.
The band was fun.
We had our knitting. We were
It
loud.
was fun. We should do it again.
I'd like to do it again before it gets hot because that can't happen after June, even after
No.
May.
And I drank a bunch of that cider that I bought already. A drink. So I need to replenish my sock.
We have to go back up then.
I know.
What did you buy?
That cider Weizen
I have
and
one of
that
The mead one?
Pinot.
Oh, I got the honey one.
I haven't tried the Pinot one yet.
What did I buy? I
You bought like 3,
Did I?
maybe 5.
7.
I know I got the golden rush, gold rush.
Mm.
Same one Tania got.
Oh, that was in the pretty bottle that had the.
I bought.
I almost wanted to buy that one because it had a cool.
Did I
top.
buy 2 of those?
I don't remember.
I don't know, but Scott liked the bottles. He really was like, "These are cool bottles. I could try to rebottle them with our cider." That's how he talks.
You're gonna make cider?
I know. When are y'all gonna start cider?
We have cider.
What?
Nice.
We just need to bottle it. One has
I have a growler.
peach. One's a peach and one's a pineapple.
Ooh.
Or one's pineapple.
Oh, he told me about this, and then he was like, "Well, I don't really want you to taste it because it hasn't been sitting out for the required amount of time." So I'm like, "Well, then don't give it to me." And he's like, "But it's really good. I've had a taste of it." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Stop bragging. Just taste it.
If you're not gonna let me taste it, then
Then
the
stop-
conversation is done.
Stop talking about it.
He's such a nerd.
So it's really funny.
I love my nerd.
He really doesn't talk like that.
He doesn't talk like that?
Well, he does.
He does.
He does. So funny.
That's how all husbands talk.
You
didn't tell me.
Oh my god, I missed you guys.
Alright, guys.
I think we're gonna say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. If you like, please subscribe. Or hit like.
Leave us a comment.
Bye.
Bye. Can the mic hear us?
I don't know, we're probably like
No.